Hello, this recording is for Lab 3.25, Exploring Security Frameworks. In this lab, we are going to go through 4 phases of ethical hacking to identify system vulnerabilities, and then we will use tools such as Nmap, Nessus, Metasploit, and IP tables. As we reviewed in class, ethical hacking has 4 phases: reconnaissance, scanning, compromise, and remediation. We're going to start with the reconnaissance phase first. In order for us to do that, we are going to open up the lab, PLTW, start with the PLTW lab. I already had it open. And our first tool that we are going to use, already familiar to us, is the Nmap. So once you have the Nmap up and running, we're going to do 2 scans. The very first one is we're going to do a ping scan. So we are going to put 10.20/24, just like we did this quick scan before. So we're going to scan the entire network, and we are instead of quick scan, we are going to do the ping scan. So ping scan will allow us to scan the overall network to uncover network topology, including host information. It takes a minute, but once the scan is completed, this looks similar to the quick scan, but also a little bit different. What you can see is the scan identifies the hosts. We have our IP addresses that we've seen before, but they also have the MAC addresses of those hosts. These are all the hosts in our water treatment facility network, including their MAC addresses, so you can identify them by that. So we're going to, next we are going to save our scan. So click on the scan, print, and then use the Microsoft PDF. When you select that option, name it your name, ping scan, and then save it. So mine's already saved. And then we're going to move on to the next scan. So the next scan in reconnaissance is to complete a deeper scan of selected host. Now that you know what host you have on the network, the one that you are interested in. POM PLC is a critical part of the network, so we will focus on that host. So in our new scan, so we can do, let's go ahead and change our scan to that particular one. So we're only scanning POM PLC 10.2.05. So we're going to put that address in there, IP address there, and we are going to use Quick Scan Plus. So it's a little bit more extensive, more detailed scan of that one particular host. And then let's go ahead and run that scan. So about 1 or 2 minutes to complete, but because this particular Quick Scan Plus will scan the 100 most common or well-known TCP port addresses on the specified host. So once it comes back, you can see that it is similar to our quick scan as before, but it provides you with more information. So you can go look at the port and host, which we don't really have a lot there, but you also can look at the topology. So here we have our 10.10205. In here, that's our host, and then we've scanned a lot of open ports there. When you look at host detail, right now on 10.205, we have 91 closed ports. The firewall is running on it, and we scanned 100 ports. We have 9 open. Okay, we have Linux operating software as well. So let's go ahead and come back to the Nmap output. So let's go ahead and save this scan just like we did with the other one. So the name that you're going to give it to this scan is your name, PAM PLC Quick Scan Plus, and then you will save it. Okay. Once you save it, go ahead and download it to your Guacamole folder so you can have it on your Chromebook. So you have your recent files here, and then you just transfer it to your download. You just drag it to your download, and it will download on your computer. So I have my Quick Scan Plus and Ping Scan as well. All right, so in your assignment, you are going to take a screenshot of your Ping Scan. Once you open it, this is what it looks like. It's just black and white. And then you have your 4 hosts that we have been working with: the Pump PLC, Pump Monitor, Web1, and Target Windows. As you look through the Quick Scan Plus, so let's go ahead and open that. Let's go ahead, downloads. So we're going to look at our Quick Scan Plus, and we're going to open, so we can, we are going to answer a couple of questions there. So the scan shows, the first question is, what does so for this Quick Scan Plus, what does the scan provide? What information scan provides about specific host that isn't available in a quick scan? So as you can see that here, we only had in the quick scan, we only had just the 3 columns here: the port, the status, and the service it provides. We did not have the version. We did not have other details about it. And we also have the MAC address for this one. So for the next question is, record the detailed information that required services on Pump PLC. All right, so because the 2 services that we most frequently use is the FTP. So for that one, your information is right here, Pro FTP, and then the version of it. And then you have a secure shell, and then your information on the secure shell is this part, this line right here. Okay. Now, for the essential next question is, for the essential services, which of this, if any, should be accessible from the outside of the firewall? We've closed those ports, and they should not be accessible because that's how you protect your network. Now that we have a map of the services running on each of the hosts of the network, we were able to get it from the Nmap scan. We're going to use the new tool to us, which is called Nessus, to scan hosts on the network for vulnerabilities. So we are in our second part of our ethical hacking. Now we're going to do the scanning, discover services and software on the host. So to explore, to discover any vulnerabilities. So we're going to open up the PowerShell on our lab, and then we will run 2 commands to start Nessus. So first is going to be net stop, and then Tenable Nessus. Okay, so that's our first command. So we stop it, and then we're going to restart the services. This is necessary to stop any of the residual services that might have been running. And now we're going to, for sure, now we know that we are starting them. So net start, and then Tenable Nessus. So you get your message that it's starting, and then from the start button, okay, so now that we started, we can minimize the PowerShell. Doesn't matter if it's running or not. At this point, so from the start button, we are going to find Tenable Network Security. So let's go ahead and look for, so it's under T. So Tenable Network Security, Nessus Web Client. So we're going to start that. And if we have this connections not private, we are okay. We're going to click advanced. Okay, and then we're going to proceed. Okay, our username is admin and password. Password is password. So I'm going to sign in. Okay, we don't have any scans right now, so we're going to do our first scan. So we're going to go in, click new scan. So scans. Okay. So I'm going to find the new scan, click that. For that one, we are going to do advanced scan, so we're going to pick that one. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to enter some information about the scan. So first we're going to name it. So it's going to be your name, advanced scan 1. Okay, so for description, we're going to put pump PLC advanced scan. So you can put it in my scans and the target. This is where we're going to put the IP address, 10.205. Okay, so next one, we're going to set up report page. So we're going to click on override normal verbosity. So I have, okay. So we're going to do report as much information as possible. And then we're going to leave the other setting as it is. Then we're going to go to advanced. Okay, for advanced, we're going to enable safe checks. It's already enabled for us. And we do not need to leave all the other settings as it is. And then finally, on the bottom, click Save. Okay, so our new configuration is saved. To run the scan configuration, click the Select checkbox next to your name. So to run the scan, so we set up the scan. Now to run the scan, we're going to, near the top right of the page, click More. So we're going to click More right here, and then we're going to launch it. Okay, and then on the confirmation screen, we're going to click Launch again. So while the scanning is still running, you can click on your name and review the scan details. So you can click right here and get the details of your scan. It's running. We have it takes a minute, but here you will see the start time, and then it's going to gather vulnerabilities for us. So we're going to let it run for a minute. So while the Nessus is still running, it is checking your system and network for known vulnerabilities. When the vulnerability is reported or discovered anywhere in the world, the engineers at Nessus add it to their program as plugin. One example of vulnerability is the Nessus plugin is a buggy version of MySQL that permits the denial of service attack. In your assignment, you have a vulnerability to explore. So for that one, you will look into this the link. You can find it on your PLTW lab, and then go ahead and investigate the vulnerability. So looks like our scan has finished. Now we are ready to look at our report. So Nessus report shows, let's see, back to my scans. So we have our scan. All right. So now we're going to look at the report. Okay. This report shows system vulnerabilities, the associated plugin, and its severity. The sample report, so let's look at report. So when you click on vulnerabilities, you will see this report. And then Nessus categorizes places your vulnerabilities based on how urgent they are into critical, advanced, mild, and so forth. So based on this report, we have 2 critical vulnerabilities. Okay, they could be related to services or operating systems. Anything that is in the blue, it's just basically for the information, good to know kind of thing. But if you see something that is a critical, okay, you can look at this and it will give you a description what it is. It will get you the information where to find it, and also how to remediate it. Okay, so the solution is upgrade to, so our version for FTP service was 135. They're recommending to upgrade to the next version 135A. So that's how you read that report. When you click on the vulnerabilities tab here in your advanced scan, this is where you see your vulnerabilities. So for item 22, for question 22, in your assignment, go ahead and take a screenshot and drop it in. So this is where you just basically take a few lines of vulnerabilities, and then what I need you to do is I need you to click on this one, on the first one, on the first critical vulnerability. All right, and take a screenshot of as much information as you can. So drop it in there as well. So that's for your number 23. Take that screenshot. Now, in number 24, you're going to be looking at these 3 documents, the description of the vulnerability, and the screenshot of your quick scan, the quick scan plus. Okay, the one that we did, and then let me go ahead and double check that one. So downloads. So this one right here. So the vulnerability that we have discovered was in the Pro FTP 135 right here. All right. So after the 2 screenshots, here's the on number 24. You need to answer 5 questions. What is the service and software version exploited in the vulnerability? So your service is the Pro FTP 135. What ports and protocols are affected? These are your ports and protocols 21 TCP and 22 TCP. Okay, 21, 22. When was the plugin published? Okay, so in order for us to answer that question, we go back to our PLTW, and the plugin published was in June 16, 2015, modified March 27, 2020. So those are your last question C and D. And what are the solutions and what will they achieve? So the solution is to upgrade to 13.5A or RC1 or later. And then what will they achieve? So they will provide more security for your port. So we are pretty much done with this scan. We just need to go ahead and so let's go back to my scans and we're going to save it. So from the my scans, okay, they should be you can select your scan. And then select the scan and then select the history tab. Let's see, we can have. Okay. So we have this, the scan. So select the scan, select the history tab. All right, so here's our history tab. And then select the checkbox next to your scan. All right, so this, it is completed. So then we're going to, so you need to be in the scan history, check on your scan, and then you're going to go export. And we're going to export as HTML. Okay, so executive summary, and then click export. So everything's good so far. Okay, the file is saved in the browser download file. So let's go ahead and look in the browser download file. So in our file explorer, we should see it as one of our, right? So in the browser explorer, navigate there and rename the file executive summary. So downloads, let's see. We are in our this PC downloads, and here's our file, Victoria Advanced Scan. So we're going to rename it. So it is Advanced Scan, keep the HTML, but we are going to have executive summary. Executive summary. All right, so we're going to rename that to Advanced Scan Executive Summary. Okay. Okay. So go back to Nessus, and here in Nessus, upper right of the history page, we're going to do export again, HTML. Now this time we're going to do custom. Okay. So for that one, we're going to export it again. Okay. And then we're going to go and rename it in our downloads into, let's go ahead and refresh our downloads. Okay, so here's the next one. We're going to rename that into custom HTML. Okay, and then we're going to do it one more time. So let me go ahead and close that because I'm going to have to refresh it anyway. And then again, export. Now we're going to export it as Nessus file. Okay. All right. And now in our downloads, back to File Explorer, in our downloads, we're going to find that last one. Okay, we're going to rename it. I'm just gonna. So that one is raw Nessus. Right before, keep the extension Nessus as so raw Nessus, and then keep the .nessus extension. Okay. So saved all those three, and then now we're going to drag them to the guacamole folder so we can go ahead and upload them on our computers. So let's go ahead and save them so we can have them. Okay. I'm going to stop this video. So for part one, and then compromise the next two parts, compromise and the last one, remediation, save for the second part.